Senator Bonaducci, Senator Roshni St. Peru,
Present.
Senator Savage,
Here.
Undergrad Student at Large Emma Brandau,
Here.
Undergrad Student at Large Thais Jimenez,
Here.
Grad Student at Large Sierra Scott. Quorum is verified.
Okay, awesome. So, like I mentioned before the break, there is some changes that we need, some motions. We need to change some numbers on the budget bill because there was some minor errors made, and so we need to adjust that. However, I do see Rick with the chat. I don't want to have him wait too long, so if the committee just wants to see his presentation first, and then we can make those changes afterwards, that's fine. Or if we want to make those now, Sierra.
I mean, we've still got 7 minutes until 1:30. I'd rather just get it done now because I'm incredibly confused. The numbers are all messed up.
Yeah.
We need to get this
Okay.
figured out.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Okay. Fair. So, if no one has a problem with that, then yeah, we'll just make these adjustments to the numbers that we need to. So the first thing that I say that we need to change is so our earlier decision on the RWC regarding their OCO items. So what we approved initially, and if you look at the budget packet, reflects, it shows that the total that we had approved for had been $53,757. So if you look at their actual OCO and the specific items, that total means that we approved for the van, the Lake Claire benches, and the volleyball system, instead of the actual first 4 OCO items in the row or in the total that we had agreed to during debate. Because during debate, it was obvious that our final decision was to approve the first 4 OCO items instead of the last 3. However, our decision reflects that we approved the last 3 because we approved $53,757, in which if you add up the van, the Lake Claire benches, and the volleyball system, that's the total you get. So we should have, approved if our intentions were for the first 4 OCO items,
42,150.
42,150. So I guess if does anyone have any questions, I'll take a motion. Yeah, here. All right, there's a motion to go back to RWC. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now there. So just
Huh? You can.
yes, here.
Move to amend.
Oh, yeah, I won't be seeing that. And Brenda has a question. Okay.
So what is the total? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the total at right now for RWC?
The total budget, the total OCO.
The total that we approved previously.
Yeah, so it is $6,927,702 is the total.
Sorry, I meant the total OCO.
Okay, yeah, that's $53,757.
Okay.
When
I thought I may be wrong, but I thought previously the only thing that we had taken out was the van, which the math then comes out to 53,648.
okay, I don't, from my recollection, I think we can look back in the minutes, was just the first 4 OCO items was the general consensus that we had approved.
No, we approved the items
Or the
1
first-
through 5.
Well, yeah, first items.
Yeah.
'Cause we
and
included the list.
denied the van, we denied the benches, and
Yeah.
we denied the volleyball courts with the intention to potentially go back and see if it was worth putting benches back in.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so is there any other questions? If not, I'll see that motion now, Sierra.
All right. Move to amend line 95, local line to $42,150.
All right, there's been a motion to amend budget line 95 from $53,757 to $42,150. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now on voting procedures. All those in favor? Please vote online. And all those against, all those abstaining. With a vote count of 11 to 0, this line has been amended to $42,150.
May I have the floor to just give a quick explanation?
Yeah, go for it.
Just because I have the math here. Just so everybody knows, sorry for the confusion, but math is hard sometimes. There was the total request for everything at the start of budget hearings was 21,065,313.95 cents. And we have 20,700,000, leaving us to have a cut of 365,313.95. As we know, that's not going to be the final case after we hear from the budget office, who is willing to cut around 310,500. We already cut 53,757 from the RWC, and Joey's going to talk about the error with MSC. We thought that 2% that I had mentioned earlier was already applied, and it was not. So that's going to be 2,084 with an additional cut. That's going to leave us with a negative amount of cuts of 1,027.05. So that means we're going to cut, and we're going to have 1,027 with 5 cents to put back somewhere else. But I just want to make that clear because I know it's been confusing. And again, we were being accommodating and letting people submit things last minute and changing the requests when really we should just cut them from the start. So that's the numbers now. So I hope that provides a little bit.
Can you repeat that deficit again?
I'm sorry?
Can you repeat the initial deficit you mentioned at the beginning?
Yeah. So the original deficit is 365,313.95 cents.
Okay.
And if it's helpful, I can send a screenshot of this to everyone in the group chat. Yeah. Will you put that in there?
If you want to just go in a minute, so I'm right above the student union in the minute. If you want to just put those numbers in of what you're talking about, so we can reflect in a minute.
Okay. And then also just to clarify, so the decision that we just made means that we would be cutting from the total OCO budget of RWC $53,757 instead of approving.
Oh, we approved that.
So no, because we approved the 42,150. So then.
Oh, we just approved the budget line, but we haven't.
Yeah, we haven't. So now I'll see a motion to approve the budget lines and then approve RWC as a whole. So Sierra?
Move to approve 195.
There's been a motion to approve budget line 195. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now voting procedures. All those in favor? And all those against? Abstaining. The vote count of 12 to 0. This budget line has been approved. Take another motion to reapprove RWC budget. Sierra?
Move to approve the RWC as a whole.
Been a motion to approve RWC as a whole. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now on voting procedures. All those in favor? All those against? And all those abstaining. Vote count of 12 to 0. RWC has been reapproved. Okay. So now, do you want to make a quick motion to go back to
Yes.
MSC?
Move to amend budget line item 64. I'm sorry, move to see budget line 64, right? Or just the whole MSC budget?
You would just move to go back to MSC.
Yeah, move to go back to
Yeah,
MSC.
there's been a motion to go back to MSC. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now there. Sabrina?
Move to amend line 64.
Right.
By 2,084, leaving it at a total of 159,489.
Right. There's been a motion to amend line 64 from $161,573 to $159,489.
That number one more time, really slow.
Yeah. So the line is being amended by a subtraction, a deduction of $2,084. So the current total is $161,573. We're subtracting that by 2,084, which gives us the total of $159,489.
489.
Yes.
Putting it in the reserve.
Okay, no problem. All right. I forgot to, do we vote? We didn't vote. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now on voting procedures. All in favor? And all is against, and all is abstaining. With a vote count of 11 to 0, this line has been amended. So now I will take a motion to reapprove as a whole.
Move to reapprove MSC as a whole.
All right, there's been a motion to reapprove MSC as a whole. Are there any objections?
Did we approve the line?
Yes.
No,
Oh,
you're right, we just
We
amended.
just amended the line. Yeah. good
Move
catch.
to see line 64 to 71. To approve, sorry.
Yep, there's been a motion to reapprove budget line 64 through 71. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now on voting procedures. All's in favor? All's against? All's abstaining? The vote count of 11 0 to 0. These budget lines stand approved. Now, that's all.
Move to approve MSC as a whole.
It's been a motion to reapprove MSC as a whole. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now on voting procedures. All those in favor? All those against? And those abstaining? With a vote count of 11 0 to 0. MSC is now approved. Yes.
Can we go back to the student union?
All right, there's been a motion to go back to the student union. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now there. Is there a motion for 15-minute speeches, unlimited questioning, and unlimited debate?
So moved.
Okay. Rick, hope you can hear me. But whenever you're ready, you should have access to share your screen. Been granted that by now. Just whenever you're ready, I'll start the timer. So.
I'm ready. As soon as I figure out how to share my screen. Hi, everyone. All right, so I'm just going to run through a quick presentation of the services that we do. I don't have a lot to touch on our budget because it really is very, very similar to the budget that we submitted and had approved last year. To me, we mostly have just put a pin in everything on most of the services that we offer during COVID, and then we'll just be kind of hopefully restarting next fiscal year as the vaccine rolls out and we can start to get back to a little bit of normalcy. So I'm just going to fly through some numbers just so everybody on the committee has some understanding, basic understanding of what the student union is, because the student union is more than the student union. So we have a number of spaces across campus. Of course, the student union is the heart of campus, but then we also have the 2 all-night study facilities, the student government computer lab on the 2nd floor of the student union, the Live Oak and Cypress Room event centers, and then we also manage Memory Mall and of course the South Patio where Market Day would typically take place at the student union. And some numbers on our events. So all of these numbers that I'm sharing with you obviously are pre-COVID numbers. So these are last year numbers and hopefully we will get back to this level of capacity again next fiscal year. So typically we have door counters on all the doors and typically on an average year we see over 4 million people that pass through our doors every year. And we also have 270 plus student employees in a typical year. After the expansion is complete, our building is about 260,000 square feet now, including 3 ballrooms, 3 conference rooms, and 5 meeting rooms. There we go. On the event statistics, typical year, again, we would do about 27,000 bookings. Now, those bookings aren't all actual individual events. Some of those are like, for example, as small as a banner that's being hung in the atrium or as large as a wedding that's being hosted in Pegasus Ballroom. So that's the full gamut of events that are taking place and the actual number of bookings within our facility. 67% of those are typically student events, 28% are departmental events, and then 5% to the public. As far as the lab and the all-night studies go, we do about 5 million print impressions a year on an average year there, which just to put that in perspective is about 565 trees that are consumed on an annual basis. And I don't say that in a bad way. I think that the printing, as we run the numbers, there's about 30,000, almost 30,000 unique users every year as we do, as we run numbers on printing. So it's almost half of students are using the free printing that student government provides on an annual basis, which is really great. Another thing in our supervisory chain is the Nights on the Mall program, and hopefully you all know and are aware of that. And here's a lovely photo of when game day was here. But we do about 2,000 reservations in a typical year between football and basketball season for Nights on the Mall. We also provide the Bike and Gold program, which includes the student government bike share. So we have the bikes that we check out on a weekly or semesterly basis and do the maintenance on those bikes, as well as maintenance on student bikes in general. So we have the shop that we employ several students in that work on the bikes. And then Knight's Pantry, which of course is near and dear to everyone's heart. And just to give you some idea of the scope of the pantry that has really grown tremendously in the last couple of years. So the year before this, we distributed almost 70,000 items to students, and that was over more than 35,000 student visits and nearly 6,000 volunteer hours. And all of that is done almost entirely on a donation basis. Activity and service fee only puts about $20,000 a year annually into that. One of the big things that you all have probably already talked about quite a bit is our roof project. And I'm certainly not going to go into the slide in detail, don't worry, but I did want to give you an idea of the scope of the roof project. So what you're looking at is an overhead shot of the Union before the expansion. Of course, we don't have to do anything with the expansion roof since it's brand new. The roofs that are in green are the roofs that are in better shape. The roofs in red are in need of immediate fixes. We have $400,000 in the budget this year that's going to take care, hopefully, of all the roofs that are in red. And then over the next 18 months or so, we should hopefully be working through all of the roof issues that we're having throughout the facilities. So then getting to the topic of the year and the impacts that we've seen from COVID, y'all that have been in the facilities have probably have a basic understanding of the impact that we've seen. Food sales across campus are down about 85% year over year. For most of the food sales in our facilities, student government and the student union get back 5% of sales. So you can see that that's a pretty significant hit on revenue, as we do typically between $5 and $6 million a year in food sales. Event reservations for the fall were down about 95%. As you can imagine, we didn't really do any events in August and September, and that's starting to pick up a little bit, and we hope to see that pick up a little bit more in the spring semester. And then our total projected revenue impact for the year is about $800,000 deficit in our revenue line. So that's the bad news. The good news, I guess it's good news. The good news is that because of decreased use of our facilities, we're going to be able to manage that within our budget this year. So that $800,000 will be managed by some budget cuts in our operational budget, our OPS budget, our staffing budgets, to make sure that we can make ends meet through this fiscal year. So we are covered this fiscal year through some good use of funds. And then in regards to the highlights that you're seeing in the packet, and this is again really kind of a mirror of what was in last year's budget, but we do anticipate when things get back to normal that we will see increased revenue. The Starbucks opening on the second floor was supposed to be a huge revenue source for us, and of course that hasn't actually come to fruition yet. But we are excited to see our 5% of sales in the Starbucks area, and I think that's going to be a huge bump for activity and service fee as a whole. And then just to highlight the roof and the expansion debt repayment that you will see in the activity and service fee business office budget this afternoon is really the student union's funding. And I just want to identify that that's not included in our budget, but if you have any questions about that, I'm happy to answer those. So that's us in a nutshell. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions or talk about anything else that you all would like to talk about.
We are now in line for questioning. So I'll see any motions. If anyone has anything in the chat, please leave a comment. It's here.
First off, Falco, as always, thanks for coming. So the only question I have right now, and I don't really know if it's a big concern, and I know we're kind of tossing our heads to figure out what's happening, but, if there were cuts that need to be made in any sense of the word, where would you hope cuts would be made? And where would you anticipate that to be from?
We're pretty lean right now, honestly. There's not a lot to volunteer to cut. I mean, if there are needs, we certainly can make cuts, but I think, you know, we over the last few years, we really trimmed all of the fat that was in our budget, if we had any fat. So there's nothing that I would necessarily volunteer. Of course, if you all identify programs that you think are getting too much funding or that are underutilized, we're certainly happy to look at that. If you all need, I mean, the number one thing that I always would volunteer to cut is OCO, because there are usually strategic ways that we can look at that. So our one OCO item this year that I should have touched on, I apologize, I did not. So thank you for asking the question, is a new projector for the brand new chamber on the third floor of the Union. So the space is beautiful. We're really excited to get it up and running. What we discovered after we installed the system, that was a pretty expensive system, was that the projector that was spec'd out for it was not bright enough to be used with the lights down and the cameras up. It's complicated. Anyways, we need a better projector in there, and so we'll utilize the projector that was installed there somewhere else in the building, and we need to buy a new projector. I think so. If we need to cut something, I think we really need to replace that projector in order for Senate to be able to run in a way that we would want it to run, that you all would want it to run. I would volunteer to potentially cut that out of next year's budget and try to squeeze it into this year's budget, which I think, again, we're seeing a lot of operational efficiency this year. So I think that could be a possibility if we want to go that route.
Any other questions? Yeah,
I just had a quick question.
yeah, okay.
My question just is on like the space within the union itself. Could you provide an update on the old SG office and if you're requesting any funding this time around in your budget packet for it, or just an update on that space?
Sure. Yeah, that's a great question. So we're working through a few different things in the space. And so one of the things that we have, at least for this year, committed is to allow Black Caucus to have some space within that space. And so we're working with Black Student Union and some of the Senate leadership to get some space in there. That's probably going to be the front desk and maybe the old Senate working room. And that's just a temporary kind of proof of concept thing. Of course, it's kind of difficult to prove a concept when there's very few students on campus right now. So we'll probably need to extend that into next year. We're looking at a number of different options in there as well that could potentially include space for the other caucuses. And I know that I'm not trying to get ahead of myself with that. I know that that's very preliminary right now, and we are not committed to that just yet. We're just trying to feel out how the caucuses end up working out after being formed through Senate. Of course, there are other options, including potentially a space for transfer students, just additional spaces for RSOs. The initial concept that was approved, and Shane, I apologize, I probably should have mentioned that first, is that initially we were just going to treat that space as an expansion of OSI. And I think all of these options that we're talking about really are expansions of OSI. It's just really kind of picking and choosing which services from OSI would necessarily go over there. And Shane would probably be a better person to answer what his initial plan was for that, because honestly, we've talked about so many plans, it's kind of hard to say. So that's we're kind of all over the place as we brainstorm options for that space. In regards to the budget, that would be in our expense lines, we have what we call facility initiatives. And that's basically our initiatives budget that I would view as the student union initiative money that we use to help student government with the initiatives that you all come to us with on an annual basis. And those are plentiful. We never have any issue with trying to find ways to spend that money, as I'm sure most of the student government initiative money goes pretty quickly as well, because every year's administration comes up with new ideas. And so that is where we typically would fund something. So if we needed to buy new furniture from there based on what we did, or paint or any of those kind of things, that's the money that we would use for that.
Okay. And Steph, I see you have a question. However, I think Nico has a motion. So if you want to make that, Nico.
Just a president voting. Senator
Still at
Bondy.
1:47 p.m. Right?
Can I go to?
Yeah, go for it, Steph.
Hi, Rick. Thank you so much for coming and thank you for that presentation. I just have a quick question. I see that there is like an increase in operations that you requested this year than last year. Can you just explain to the committee what, like specifically what the increases are?
Oh, I wasn't fully prepared to answer that. I'd have to look back through. Do you know, Steph, which lines those were in?
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, sorry, I don't have last year's budget in front of me, so I don't have the specifics. I know we were pretty close to in line.
I think maybe.
I think it's line 167.
Yeah, it's 167, but I can maybe give you like some information on that. So I believe last year on the request packet, they originally had requested for the same amount they're requesting this year. However, the committee last year approved for the 1,545,000. So I think they cut their budget by that much, because the request last year was the same they're requesting this year. So.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Joey.
Is there any other questions? If not, I'll see a motion. Yeah, real.
Move to debate.
All right, there's been a motion to go to debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now there. Yes, yeah.
We don't need to cut anything from the union. I just asked as a hypothetical because I always like to hear answers, but no, we don't need to cut anything. I don't think there's anything that needs to be changed. So with that, I think that we should go ahead and vote.
All right, and this is budget lines 164 through 172. Everyone, so if someone wants to make the motion. Steph.
Move to approve lines 164 to 172.
Yep. There's been a motion to approve budget lines 164 through 172. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now voting procedure. All those in favor? And all those against? And all those abstaining? With a vote count of 13 to 0, these budget lines have been approved. Bro.
Move to approve state union.
So a motion to approve student union as a whole. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures. All those in favor? And all those against? And all those abstaining? With a vote count of 14 to 0. Congratulations, Rick. Your budget has been approved.
Thank you all.
The rest of the day. So with that, we would just have the A&SF business office, and Brenda is here. I'm not sure if anyone wants to go over any numbers or anything, or Brenda, are you prepared to present? Okay, no problem. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So last year they had requested the amount that they're requesting this year, but in the committee, according to the decision was made. I'm not sure if it was during the A&SF budget committee or the Senate approval, but the decision ultimately was to have them at 1,545,000 or $1,545,200. And so they're just requesting the same amount from last year. Yeah. So any other questions in that regard? And so, Sabrina, I know was there any updates on as far as the numbers or everything?
I'm still working.
So it looks like on my end, that beginning deficit, like Sabrina mentioned initially, we were at $365,314 in the tank, or over our target budget of 20.7 million. And so this didn't take into account the cuts that we have decided with RWC. So the $365,314, if you subtract the RWC cut, which would be $53,757, the MSC cut, which was $2,084, and then the soon potentially of the $310,500 that Brenda might propose with the R&R of slashing that in half. So if you subtract all those from our initial over, the $365,314, we would be negative $1,027, which means that we could reallocate to,
The thing to keep in mind with that extra thousand too is since there's not necessarily like, and I feel like the community will have to debate it, but
Yeah.
it would seem like it would make the most sense to just take that $1,000 and subtract it from whatever the A&SF business office is
Yeah.
gonna propose.
Yeah,
Instead of trying to just throw it in an arbitrary place. If that makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah, that makes sense. I think that would,
Just
be the
because I
route to
don't want
go,
us having
yeah.
to worry about debating over
yeah,
$1,000.
absolutely, yeah,
That
I
way,
agree. Absolutely, yeah, yeah.
Yes, it'd be like 309,000 or something like that, instead of 310.
Yeah. So we definitely could do that once we are in debate during ASF. But that's where we're at now. So definitely feeling a lot better than this morning.
What last year?
Ryan's face is like, what? You saying?
It was because the way debate was, because we had more debate last year and the numbers were bigger, but it was just and it's funny because we have so much less to cut than we had in any other year. Yeah. No, it's wild and like, yeah. We had to bring back like 3 departments to all be like, hey. Yeah, Brenda, you're right. The budget would stay the same, and then the request increased. Y'all haven't seen anything since the downtown gym stuff when we had to, were you there for that time? We had the downtown gym equipment we had to buy and fill the downtown gym with, and we had to add in that entire budget for the equipment, and that was a whole mess.
Natalia, I'm not sure if you want to add this to the minutes, but I'm not like added input. So the request of like regards to the operations questions, you want to like look in the chat. The request was what increased, and it was I think mainly the student union roof.
Are you talking to the Zoom or the minutes? Or Natalia?
Oh, I'm saying like I don't know if you want to add this extra minutes regards to stuff.
Can you text it if possible? Or message it to me in group me? Because I don't have access to the Zoom chat, so I can't see it.
But do y'all understand what's going on? It's just, it gets funky because we have to, once the Senate is the one who have to like do the final approval, we have to answer questions, but we can't debate on it, so it gets really long. That's where we're good.
I don't think it'll be a problem.
We got it.
I have gum and candy. Does anyone want any? I have extra gum or candy for anyone? Smarties? No.
What?
I have like extra Smarties and candy if anyone wants any. I will pass it out like it's Halloween again.
It's delicious. I know. I mean, better than yesterday. Better than yesterday.
Joey, that's not.
Because I like to have fun, I forgot.
I don't know.
It's good though. I feel like I drink less now. Yeah, I don't know why, but. Yeah, look at you.
Is it me? No, it's not. It's like I hurt myself when you do this. This mask is so
I'll try it.
So the new objections?
A 30-minute?
Yeah. Okay, seeing none, we are now in recess. PM, verification, roll call, I'm quorum.
All right, Chair Tufo.
Here.
Awesome, I am here. President LaRosa.
Here.
Vice President Blanco. Here. Speaker Custis.
Here.
Chair Millington.
Here.
Chair Maldonado.
Here.
Flores. Here. Vice Chair Hansen. Valeria.
Sorry, I couldn't get the mic to work, but I put it in chat. I'm here.
Senator Bonaducci. Nico. Oh, I think he said there were some issues.
Yeah.
so-
He said he was.
All right. Senator Young is here. Senator St. Cruz.
Present.
Carrie Savage.
Here.
Thank you. Student at Large Brando. Ema. Student at Large Jimenez. Grad Student at Large Scott.
I'm gonna just text the chat. She just got here.
Okay, Thais.
Stacy here too. Sam.
All right, okay. So we're good to go.
Yep. Alright. Okay, so wait on Dave get here. Yeah.
It's the packet that's on here, the most updated one that you can use
Yes,
to reference.
Yes, I just because when it's something like an updated version, so I just sent that. It should be in the draft most update. As well as the application. Full PowerPoint, so everything should be.
Wait,
Yeah.
but the, I was looking at the pay and I was just confused by the, hang on here, but I realized the effective date is. Okay.
Yeah, so there's actually another updated one. So I'm gonna put that in the chat. Yeah, so the one currently, I'm gonna leave that, that's. This one. Now, the latest version should be in the drive, and everything should be up to date.
What's different between the old?
Yeah, so it was the R&R for specific projects. If you look at the yellow, the row highlighted all through yellow, it was 1.1 million before, but now it was updated to reflect our discussions last night. Yeah. But this also reflects what's on the budget bill. So this is like the numbers that we have. So we're good.
It makes me sad to see the comments on the A&SF ones where, Richard had all the side comments on how to fill out the sheet.
Meantime, is everybody good with where we're at as far as numbers and everything? Kind of went over it right before the break, but if anyone still has any questions before we get into Brenda's presentation, please, now's your opportunity to like clarify that. But again, after this presentation, we'll just finalize everything, and yeah, this will be our last. So
Do we have a time estimate when he's coming? He said he was leaving, like, once he said he was leaving lunch.
Anybody want 5 gum? I got 3 pieces left. Is there a motion? Is there a motion for 15-minute speeches, unlimited questioning, and unlimited debate? All right. Brennan, whenever you're ready for the timer.
Hi, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Brenda. I'm from the Activity and Service Fee Business Office. And today I will be doing our budget presentation. Our mission, the mission of the Activity and Service Fee Business Office is to provide financial and managerial oversight for the activity and service fee funding that supports meaningful and collaborative experiences for students, which promotes the development of financial stewardship. The Activity and Service Fee Business Office services, they are accounting, purchasing, and/or personnel needs of all activities and service fee funded departments, agencies, and SGA entities. The services that we provide are procurement services. We process all of the payments for Senate allocations such as CRTs, FAOs, and Senate bills, and all of the expenses for all of the A&SF funded departments, agencies, and SGA entities. Financial and budgetary services are we maintain the financial database for all of the A&SF funded departments, agencies, and SGA entities. Payroll processing, we input all payroll and HR related data into PeopleSoft systems for for A&SF funded departments and agencies and SGA entities. We also provide purchasing, receiving, and distribution. We receive all goods purchased by A&SF funded departments, agencies, SGA entities, RSOs, and we ensure that they are distributed to the purchasing entity and it's accurate. We do record management and property inventory control. We maintain and require all documentations related to all purchases for A&SF funded departments, agencies, and SGA entities. We also are responsible for the financial training workshops. This creates and maintain the financial training workshop, a required course offered through the web courses for all students receiving allocations from SGA, either individual or part of an RSO. Currently, there were 2,032 students enrolled in the training last fiscal year. This fiscal year, we had 935 students enrolled so far. We are also responsible for the SGA Ticket Center. The center sells tickets to popular attractions in Orlando area, along with special one-time events. It is also where students come to obtain Safe Ride vouchers. Within the last 12 months, we have sold 13,971 attraction tickets. A&SF office operating budget. Pretty much our budget will remain the same. Operations will remain the same this year. We're requesting $750 for maintenance and repair of the golf cart, $1,000 for development and retreats, $10,000 for software licenses, and that's a total of $11,750. For the A&SF combined expenses, such as office supplies, we're requesting $12,000. For UCF IT assessment, we're requesting $550,000. For the state casualty insurance, we're requesting $10,000. Telecommunication is $61,000. Printing and reproduction, $20,000, for a total of $653,000. A&SF repair and replacement special projects. we're funding for large multiple-year capital projects such as the turf fields replacement at RWC, the artillery repairs and replacement, exercise equipment repair and replacement, roof replacement for RWC, continuing the student union third floor expansion payment, and roof replacement for the student union. Replenishing the contingency amount that is used to cover shortfalls in the prior fiscal year. We want to move towards a more optimal contingency balance. This year's request is to add an amount equal to 3% of the annual A&SF budget. For the next fiscal year, we would suggest that the committee fund 1/2 of that, which would be $310,500. Also, we would like to request the remaining $310,000, $310,500 to be funded via provisional language as in the past years. I was advised a few minutes ago that we should request $311,829 instead of the $310,500 because at the end there's going to be approximately $1,329 remaining over. So that will be attached to the 310. We also have the Safe Ride Voucher Program. This program provides free taxi rides from home or for students to ride home, up to $35. Typically, vouchers are available at the SGA Ticket Center, but this year, due to COVID, no Safe Ride vouchers were printed. The A&SF office budget request. The changes in this year's request compared to last year's budgeting include the 10% increase for OPS salaries. So, the increase for OPS salaries at a minimum of $10 per hour will be the change that we have for OPS salaries. And that's a slight increase due to the change in system-related expenses for operations. Are there any questions?
You're now in line for questioning. See Sabrina's tapping. Yeah.
Hi, Brenda. I know I've told you the number, but I just wanted to double check. It's 311,829.
Yes.
Thank you. Move to debate.
There's been a motion to go to debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now there.
I obviously am in favor of cutting this budget by $311,829. This is based on all our discussions the past few days about the R&R count. So I don't know if there's other debate, but.
Okay, yeah, it's here.
Move to amend line 6, 5. Just the project, right?
Budget line 6 is the contingency.
So move to amend line 6 to 311,800.
29? Yeah. All right, there's been a motion to amend budget line 6 to $311,829. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedure. All those in favor? All those against? All those abstaining? For the vote count of 12 to 0 to 0, this budget line has been approved. Yeah, Sabrina.
Move to approve lines 2 through 8. We amended it, and then we,
No, I amended that line.
so you amend it and then you vote on those lines.
So then you just approve
Yeah.
1 through 8.
Yeah, so I moved to approve lines 2 through 8.
Okay, is there a motion to approve budget lines 2 through 8? Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedure. All those in favor? And all those against? All abstaining? Vote count of 12 to 0 to 0. These budget lines have been approved. And Steph,
Move to approve ASF business office as a whole.
has been a motion to approve ASF Business Office as a whole. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedure. All those in favor? And all those against? And all those abstaining? With a vote count of 12 to 0 to 0. Congratulations, your budget has been approved. So with that, that should be our last presentation. So now we just have to, verify the numbers, make sure everything adds up, and just have any discussion if need be. So, yeah, point.
Do we have to do anything with those 5 cents? Like, is that like actually like a thing?
No, because when we start working on the proviso language, it'll all balance out because the way that Excel functions is that it rounds up every cent to a whole number. So we'll be off by a few cents here and there, but when we create that language next semester, it'll reflect it.
Okay. So, I guess we can, I'm not sure there's like a formal procedure of how to verify everything, but if we just want to go down each. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I mean, we're done. So I guess I'll take a motion for to members. Yeah, done.
Move to go to member discussion.
All right, there's a motion to go to member discussion. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now there. All right. Yeah, sorry.
Move to go informal.
All right, there's been a motion to go informal. Are there any objections?
Informal? Informal. Because if we're verifying the numbers, it's easier for us to be informal. I'll double check, we all know how to do it. We might want to be careful though, because everything we say we want to have on record anyway, because we can't debate once we're on the floor on it. Okay, so withdraw the motion.
Okay. So, so we're now in number discussion. So we can start off with looking at the ASF business office, and we can just go down the list if no one has a problem, or if anyone suggests a way, if you just how you want to do this. Yeah.
Just to explain, so at the end, all you have to do is just approve the line items like you would normally, so you do one through whatever, and then move to approve as a whole, so.
Okay. So, like, we wouldn't. Can you say that one more time?
So once we're done talking about it, all we have to do is move to approve lines 1 through
Yeah. Okay.
195.
Gotcha.
and then
Okay.
approve it as a whole.
Gotcha. Okay. So, yeah, Serena.
So I don't know if you can see my comment on the document, but line 6 under request is incorrect. It shouldn't say 310, it should say 621.
Line 6.
Right there.
You talking about on the big one?
Huh?
You're talking about on the big bill?
Yeah.
It says 621 online.
Yeah.
On, really?
I know you have your edit one too, so maybe
Yeah.
it's in there.
No, I'm on the actual one.
I don't.
Well, as long as it's fixed. Oh, it's because it took off. Just kidding.
So you're all good, Sabrina. All right. So, is there? I'm very curious. Was there like procedure of how you guys went about this last year? Did you just go down?
What do we do discussion on?
Yeah. As far as the member
I mean,
discussion.
really, only if someone has an issue about something, but like I said, like, you can't, unless you're a senator, you can't debate on the floor once this hits the floor, so if there was any final debate, you want on, if they want on record,
Okay.
this is the chance to say that, but other than that, like, there's not really, this isn't the time to do that, the time is just to verify the numbers, and since we've been changing so much, I am definitely hoping that we do that.
Okay.
So let's go, maybe a suggestion, let's go to the entity one by one. Want to make sure that everything looks correct. Yeah, make sure all the numbers are right.
Okay. So I guess just going down. So A&SF is obvious, we just approved that. Everything looks to be correct. If anyone has any objections or think otherwise, please raise your hand or say a piece. If not, I'll move to cap. Okay. So for cab, again, if you want to just go back to the budget request or the agenda, minutes of what's approved. I have my notes here. Yeah, we're good. And I'll just give everyone like a couple seconds if there's no. Wait, let's move on. Everything looks good. Turn that on.
Are we on tab now? Or are we still
Yeah,
on-
we're on cap now. Yeah. We move to-
Do we have to motion to move to each section?
I don't think so.
The only motion is.
Yeah, because I mean, the only cuts we made were MSC, the RWC, and A&SF.
Yeah.
And then, so we.
I would just say more just to verify.
Yeah.
Triple check, but I mean, again, like if everyone just wants to, the number, if you go to the bottom, is not just the 20.7 million, but just to make sure.
Oh, and Nikon, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Court has a cent difference. They're off by 35 cents from the request of the committee. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I don't remember voting on something like that.
Are you talking about the budget request?
I'm talking about line 47. I'm not looking at the budget request because that's not really relevant.
Okay.
The budget itself. We're not approving requests.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I see.
line
Yeah.
47.
Okay.
And the mistake is on
Yeah.
line 44.
so
It's cent differences, but I'm still.
Yep.
Balanced. So is line 44.
Well, yeah, that's.
We're off.
Yeah,
It's from OPS.
the error is in line 44.
And that's not reflected over to 47.
Mhm,
And if we're
because of
gonna
the
vote on that and fix that, we have to figure out where the other 35 cents is coming from.
Well, we're off.
We're off by 5 cents total. That means that the total A&SF committee number is not connected down.
I don't think we have to vote to approve it because we approved the budget packet as is. So that's just a like clerical error, like we have to fix like in writing, but then we have to go back and take out the 30 cents elsewhere.
Is there a motion for a non-committee member to speak? All right, Regan.
The Senate's always trying to talk about down to the closest dollar, so it doesn't really. You got the $20.7 million budget.
Yeah.
1 point, the 5 cents is disruptive.
Why are there even cents of request? Why are there even cents
In there, yeah.
differences in requests if they're relevant?
So it is how the rates should look at. And then the summary page of the whatever that package should round it up and down.
Yeah, I used to.
My personal take is we approve them for those 35 cents. I think we should correct the document to reflect that, but I don't think we need to dock anyone 30 cents after the fact, as of right now.
Yeah.
There's also discrepancy in my fund, my actual dollars.
No, we approve,
We didn't approve to change that one, did we?
yes, we did.
No, we did. We did.
Yeah, it's in the minutes.
I'll pull up the minutes.
Point of inquiry.
Yes.
Point of inquiry.
Someone,
Can you repeat that?
Point of inquiry.
Yeah.
What's going on? Because no one on Zoom can really hear what you guys are talking about.
so essentially, there's an error under court under OPS by 35 cents.
Again, I don't do, based on what Ryan said, can we just, for now, like, skip over that, right? If it's gonna be rounded up.
Everything else is fine. It's like that one.
I don't really think we have to worry about that now. I think like once we formulate the proviso language and everything, it's 35 cents, so
Yeah, so Brody just messaged me. And again, since Excel rounds these things up, it ends up all balancing out after the fact. So if you look at line 3, it says, you know, there's a 40-cent difference, but it just all balances out with the actual budget. So
oh, okay.
it's just an automatic
So we're good.
feature on Excel. I mean, I think it's beneficial for all of us to go line by line, but I think it's important to make sure we're looking at like where it's rounded, because as long as we have record that like what was changed and what wasn't, like that's what matters. Because once we go in with the nitty gritty clerical details, it'll balance out.
That's good.
And like, yeah, line, if you look at budget line 3, it's an example. What Sabrina was talking about. So stuff.
So, I'm sorry, I'm trying to, so move to approve lines 1 to
95.
995. We gotta go back to the- Remember the discussion.
Oh, yeah. I will not be seeing that. Natalia? All
Move to go back to the discussion.
right, there's been a motion to go back to new business. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now there. So again, so everything besides those minor rounding issues, everything else looks like it's matching up. So now we are in line for taking a motion to approve the whole budget as it stands, according to the numbers that the committee has approved for each A&SF entity. So no one has any objections to that. I'll be seeing a motion.
Move to approve the budget as it stands.
All right. There's been a motion to approve the A&SF committee budget. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now voting procedure. All those in favor? And all those against? And all those abstaining? With a vote count of 12 to 0 to 0, the budget has been approved. Congratulations, everybody. Thank you so much for sticking with us this whole time. Turned out a lot better than where we were this morning, so great job to everybody. So I'll take a motion for correct. Yeah. So, all right, there's been a motion to go to miscellaneous business. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now there. All right, Sierra.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you have any sort of contingency plan in case something gets all messy with the numbers again, so that we can be kept in the loop in case something happens? Because I'm gonna be honest, I still don't fully trust the numbers.
Yeah.
Something is just like in the back of my mind something's off. So
Yeah.
just what's your plan for following up with all this? How do you verify all the numbers and everything else?
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, I don't have like a strategic plan filled out, but I will, obviously let the committee know. I know I'll be working with Regan with finalizing everything, with Shane, trying to make sure that everything is good. But if there is an issue that arises, I will definitely, inform the committee. And I know when we're drafting the proviso language, and looking at some of the specifics, that, any issue that are, but again, I'm going to look at as far as the finalizations and everything. And if something arises, I'll let the committee know, and then we can kind of figure it out, from there. But I will probably be staying for like, another, hour or so just to make sure everything is right. But yeah, I at the moment, don't. Yeah.
Move to adjourn pending final roll call.
Say that one more time.
Move to adjourn pending final roll call.
All right, there's been a motion to adjourn pending final roll call. Are there any objections? Do you
I
object?
withdraw.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, go for it.
Can you speak into the mic? Sure.
I just wanted to say thanks to everybody for all of your hard work. I know you guys want to wrap it up, but I just want to say thanks. It's my first time being on this committee, and it's been great. I respect everybody that's here today. So thank you, and thank you, Chair Joy, for everything you've done. You've done a great job. And with that, I move to adjourn pending final roll call.
Awesome. So there's been a motion to adjourn pending final roll call. Are there any objections? Seeing none, Natalia?
All right, Chair Tufo.
Here.
Vice John here. President La Rosa. Here. Vice President Blanco. Here. Speaker Custis. Here. Chair Millington. Here. Chair Maldonado.
Here.
ORS. Here. Vice Chair Hansen.
Here.
Senator Bonducci. Nico. Senator St. Cruz. Present. Senator Savage. Senator Savage. Student at large Brando.
Here.
Student at large Jimenez.
Here.
And then grad student at large Scott. Here. All right.
Okay. I hereby adjourn this meeting at 3:08 p.m. Congrats, everyone. All free to go here and log off with your virtual panelists. Thanks so much. All right.